जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन वृद्धजनरंजन यमुनातीरा वनचारी जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी या एतदादाव अश्रज चराचरम् स्वमायया आत्मशयायातिवर्कया या एतदादौ असृजत् चराचरम् स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्तयया तया स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्यया तय्येव सह अयं किल गोप्तुम् उद्यतः कथं नु माम धर्मपरः जिघांसति य एतदादौ असृजत् चराचरम् स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्तया स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्तया तया एव सह अयं किल गोप्तुम् उद्यतः कथं नु माम धर्मपरा जिगांसति य एतदादौ असृजत् चराचरम् स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्तयया तया एव सह अयं किल गोप्तुमुद्यतः कथं नु माम धर्मपरः जिगांसति य एतदादौ असृजत् चराचरम् स्वमायया आत्म आशयया अविकर्तयया तया एव सह अयं किल गोप्तुमुद्यतः Katham no mam dharma parajigamshati.
Ya eva tada vrasajyacharacharam.
Yai tadado asya characharam.
Swamaya ya atmasriyaya vittuk karyaya. Swamaya atmasraya vitartaya. Tayeva swayam kil goptum udyata. Katham mam dharma paro jighansati. Ya etad adavascharacharam.
Ya etavado asya characharam.
Maya atma ashraya avikartaya.
Swamaya atma ashraya avikartaya.
Tayeva soyam kila goptum udyata.
Tayeva so ayam kila goptamudyataha.
Tamno mam dharma paro jigamsati.
Katham no mam dharma paro jigamsati. Yai tadado asya characharam.
Swamaya atmasraya avikartaya. Tayeva soyam kila goptum udyata.
Katham no mam dharma paro jigamsati. Yaha, one who, eta, these, adav, in the beginning of creation, ashjat, created, chara, acharam, moving and non-moving living entity, swamayaya, by his own potency, atma ashaya, shelter under his own protection, avitarkaya, inconceivable, Maya, by the same Maya, Eva, certainly, Saha, he, Ayam, this king, Kila, certainly, Goptumudyataha, prepare to give protection, Katham, how, Nu, then, Mam, me, Dharma Paraha, one who is strictly following religious principles, Jigamshati, desires to kill. In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your inconceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entities. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principles. Why are you so anxious to kill me, even though I am a form of a cow? In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your inconceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entity. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principles. Why are you so anxious to kill me, even though I am in the form of a cow? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The planet Earth argues that there is no doubt that one who creates can also annihilate by his sweet will. The planet Earth questions why she should be killed when the Lord is prepared to give protection to everyone. After all, it is the earth that is the resting place for all other living entities, and it is the earth that produces grains for them. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, one more. My dear Lord, although you are one, by your inconceivable potency you expanded yourself in many forms. Through the agency of Brahma, you have created this universe. You are therefore directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are not sufficiently experienced cannot understand your transcendental activities because these persons are covered by your illusory energy.
Purport: God is one. God is one, but he expands himself in a variety of energies: the material energy, the spiritual energy, the marginal energy, and so forth. Unless one is favored and especially endowed with grace, he cannot understand how the one Supreme Personality of Godhead acts through his different energies. The living entities are also the marginal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma is also one of these living entities, but he is especially empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Brahma is supposed to be the creator of this universe, actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead is its ultimate creator. In this word, the word Maya is significant. Maya means energy. Lord Brahma is not the energetic, but is one of the manifestations of Lord's marginal energy. In other words, Lord Brahma is only an instrument. Although sometimes plans appear contradictory, there is a definite plan behind all action. One who is experienced and is favored by the Lord can understand that everything is being done according to the Lord's supreme plan. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nunam Vateshasya Samehitam Janai Tanmaya Durjaya Akritatmavihi Nalakshate Yastu Akarot Akaraya Yo Aneka Eka Paratascha Ishvaraha. My dear Lord, although you are one, by your inconceivable potency you have expanded yourself in many forms. Through the agency of Brahma, you have created this universe. You are therefore directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are not sufficiently experienced cannot understand your transcendental activities because these persons are covered by your illusory energy. Hare Krishna, everybody. The voice is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay, done. Everything looks fine. Audio is better now, Mataji?
Prabhuji?
Better now, audio? Quality change?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Now, in this verse, there was one word. One who is experienced and is favored by the Lord can understand everything is done according to the Lord's supreme plan. And Prabhupada says, unless one is favored and especially endowed, he cannot understand how the Lord is acting. So to understand God, Tathapi te deva padam bhujam dvaya. Who knows the shloka? Yes? Tathapi te deva padam bhujam dvaya prasada lesha anugrihita evahi janapi tattvam bhagavan mahimno natu eva api chiram vichinnam. Nobody knows the shloka? Nobody is raising hand today? Okay. This is a famous shloka. Prabhupada quotes regularly, that unless we are graced by the favor of the Lord, we cannot understand. So we cannot understand God by any mechanical process. Understanding God means also to understand the Lord's plan, how He has done things. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says, unless we accept that God is inconceivable, we cannot understand anything as it is. This is a famous statement in the Krishna. Unless we understand God is inconceivable nature, we cannot understand anything. Forget about God, anything. Even the material manifestation is because of the inconceivable power of God. And the materialistic explanations, because they don't accept that, their knowledge is incomplete. They, to some extent, they do understand, and then they are confused. Therefore, there is a famous statement in science: if you try to understand anything too deeply, you will get confused. That's how it is. Superficial, they start, actually the problem with the modern day science, so-called modern day science, they start somewhere in the middle, Prabhupada says. They don't go to the origin. Just like Darwin started Origin of Species, proudly wrote the book Origin of Species, could not even tell how the species started. He could not tell in the book. Simply they write, as if they understood the truth. Without the grace of the Lord, you cannot understand anything. And without the inconceivable power of the Lord, you cannot understand anything. So he confused himself and confused others. Because he is not beginning from the place. Inconceivable power of God, the different forms of life are created on earth. He could have started like that. But he is an atheist. So therefore he will not do that. And led to further confusion. The atheists are waiting for some kind of a theory that can explain the different species till that time. Before Darwin, if you see, most of the scientists were God conscious. You see so many scientists. But after he appeared, we see in science more big twist towards atheism. Yes, hypothesis or theory, these are all proposals. But they are not taught like proposals. Unfortunately, they are taught like laws. They refuse to accept what Shastra says. They say what Shastra says is legend, mythology, Hindu mythology. And what they say, it is even worse. At least we have authority speaking about it. At least we are not changing our stand. This has been spoken through the ages. And we are saying, you achieve the grace of the Lord, you can see it, and many people have seen all these things. Okay? This I have used the line of argument many times. So we need the grace of the Lord to understand how the Lord has, to understand the material energy. You see, any department, physics, chemistry and all, can be taught in a God-conscious way. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught grammar in a God-conscious way. Harinama Vyakarana. This was later created by Jiva Goswami as an offering to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so even to this day, many places it is, Prabhupada said, it is taught in that way. Everything using the Lord's name. So you can do anything using the Lord's name. If you have the right intention, even Vyakarana. Previously, if there is a dance, it is the Lord's dance. If it is music, it is Lord's music, the glorification of the Lord. You see, all the traditional ancient dances of India, they're all glorification of the Lord. All the traditional bhajans or classical things, all glorification of the Lord. Even Prabhupada says when the movie started in India, people were so God-conscious, 100 years ago, all the movies were God's movies only. Narsimha, Narayana, people were watching that only. And not so commercialized like today, where the whole story is distorted and not so, it is not so bad, so bad. So everything actually, as whatever we see, can understand, is an offering connected to the Lord. Even the whole world situation, everything is finally the plan of the Lord. The world is moving by the supreme plan of the Lord. Sometimes we do understand, sometimes we do not understand, does not matter. But the Lord's plan is there. We may not immediately understand. Sometimes something not particularly, we accept it is the God's plan, God's wish, God's grace. Some positive things happen. When negative things happen, we do not accept it's a God's plan. We don't accept. We are not able to understand and we get into tension, we get into anxiety. Why God has put me under this? It's His plan. We accept it. Correct? That is needed. We accept everything is a plan of the Lord. Then it is very nice. This plan of the Lord, Prabhupada talks about in various places. I'll bring those quotations, but some things which I can develop now. In reverse, accepting situation to the plan of the Lord. Now just meditate on Bhagavad Gita, and that's the plan of the Lord, that the Bhagavad Gita will be spoken. Correct? It was the plan of the Lord. Such a situation was arranged. Then the plan of the Lord, all these demons will be brought together and killed by his pure devotee Arjuna. That's again plan of the Lord. The whole thing is moving by the plan of the Lord. And you see that now you enter the Bhagavatam. We see Parikshit Maharaj, even though he finds such a difficult situation, he understands it's Shukadeva Goswami enters the assembly, he says, plan of the Lord to help me in this situation. Maybe he introspects, maybe I was getting too attached to my family and all these things. He thinks like that. And therefore Krishna has arranged to detach me from the family attachment by his own plan. You see that? Krishna doesn't take millions of seconds to plan. He can plan simultaneously for trillions of living entities at the same time. That is inconceivable. So now he's planning for Parikshit Maharaj. He says, hey, wait a minute, you other guys, I'm busy. I'm planning something more to do. Simultaneously plan for every living entity. So he accepts the plan of the Lord. The Lord is, Shukadeva Goswami is coming. What a grace of the Lord. He is not repenting, it was not just actually, I put on this dead snake, what this person has done. Accept as a plan. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was crying and everybody is trying to counsel him and still he was breaking down and saying, no, too much sin I have done. Why did I do that? Just to become a king, I killed so many people. The Bhishma brought him to Bhishma. That's what Bhishma says. Very difficult to understand the plan of the Lord. Such saintly, my grandchildren, so saintly. They were sent to Vanvas. So many attempts on their life, their wife was insulted, so many pain they underwent. Why? This is the plan of the Lord, correct? You can see at the end there, because Krishna has made the king. Krishna wanted to teach so many things. Even if you have a person like Bhishma on your side, if you have a wrong cause, that's why there's Satyamev Jayate, you're going to lose, even if you have Bhishma. So many reasons Bhishma was there on the other side. So the plan of the Lord. And sometimes devotees go through so-called difficulty because Krishna has some plan to exhibit. Okay, so the plan of the Lord is moving. The whole world is moving by the supreme plan of the Lord, and therefore devotee is in peace. My own personal life is under the control of the Lord. This whole massive cosmic manifestation, they are very worried. Summit will come, this will come, earth will get destroyed. There is a plan. Krishna is in control, plan of the Lord. This world also, so many politics happening, here this election, that election, what will happen? What will happen? There is a plan of the Lord. Lord is moving the whole world in a direction He wants, we cannot see that. We see small here and there things and we get very disturbed. And we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already revealed His plan. Prithvite yatho acha nagaradi gram saroto prachar hai morana. As many towns and villages are there, everywhere people will chant the holy name. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. He can understand the whole world this will go to happen. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying. You think there's something else will happen? No, nothing else. This will happen. Now what we can do? Nimitra matrena bhava, so just become an instrument in the plan of the Lord. Just like Krishna told Arjuna that it's done. The war is over. People are going to die. He showed him. Don't worry. Now nobody is going home. If you want, you can become an instrument in that's it, and win glory. You did it. Correct? You'll become famous. Arjuna did everything. Arjuna killed all these big demons. You get the glory. You get the credit. You take the credit. Participate in my plan. Nimitra matrena bhava savya sachin. O Arjuna, who can shoot arrows expertly, just become nimitra matra. Become an instrument in my hand. So just like Srila Prabhupada offered himself as the instrument in the hand of his spiritual, an unlimited potency was for him. His spirits. He always knew that this Shakti that I have got is the blessing of my Guru. So we try to execute the plan of the Lord, immense potency will be exhibited. Okay? So now this plan of the Lord is actually difficult to understand, inconceivable potency of the Lord. Okay? So in this world it is very difficult. So let me take some quotations today because plan of the Lord is difficult. Let's see how Prabhupada deals this very difficult topic and we start developing. Okay? We start discussing. Otherwise, we always take the same examples that how even though the difficult situation, they understood. That is a famous shloka in Srimadbhagavatam, Tatte anukampam susukshmana bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam. Hridavag bhupovi vidadam namaste jive nayo bhukti pade sataya bhak. It's very difficult, that even difficult position we understand. It's as a Krishna's arrangement for our own purification. Okay, now let me take. Yes, you can read, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
How do I make it bigger?
Prabhuji?
Huh? Just wait. Yes, good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Plan of the Lord. The atheist plan makers are described herein by the word dushkritinaha or miscreants. Kriti means one who has performed meritorious work. The atheist plan maker is sometimes very intelligent and meritorious also, because any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. But because the atheist brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Supreme Lord, the atheistic plan maker is called Dushkriti, which indicates that his intelligence and efforts are misdirected. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly mentioned that material energy works fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. It has no independent authority. It works as the shadow moves in accordance with the movements of the object. But still, material energy is very powerful, and the atheist, due to his godless temperament, cannot know how it works, nor can he know the plan of the Supreme Lord. Under illusion and the modes of passion and ignorance, all his plans are baffled, as in the case of Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, whose plans are smashed to dust, although they were both materially learned as scientists, philosophers, administrators, and educators. These Dushkritanas or miscreants are of four different patterns as outlined below Gita 7.15.
Okay, this is the famous shloka 7:15. Namam dushkritano muda prapadyante naradamaha. Yes. Maya prita jnana asamamashita. Now, see, Prabhupada is saying if you try to work against the plan of the Lord, you'll be dusted, finished, smashed. Nobody can stop the plan of the Lord. Nobody can stop the plan of the Lord. So why not go to that direction? Why not go to that direction? Why don't we align ourselves to the plan of the Lord? We get credit, we get purified, we get blessed, we get spiritual happiness, we go back to Godhead, everything is... But if we go against the plan of the Lord, it is smashed. Everything will smash and dust. It's like Prabhupada is saying, their atheistic brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Lord. Okay, so beautiful. Chalo.
Savyasachin refers to the one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill his enemies. Just become an instrument. Nimitta matram. This word is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Foolish persons who do not have sufficient knowledge think that nature is moving without a plan and all manifestations are but accidental formations. There are so many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that, but there is no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have the domineering mentality, which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestation are under the superior guidance of God. Thus, the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he should fight in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to the Lord's transcendental service, he is perfect. Bhagavad Gita 11.33.
So how you will know? We will have understood by our own logic. And will God want this? Go through a massive war in which crores of people will die? We cannot understand. Okay? Just follow. Krishna says, I want this, just follow. And that's what happened. His brother created Vaikuntha on earth. With all those miscreants, it was not possible to create Vaikuntha on earth. Krishna always wants people to live peacefully. Correct? But jokers have to be removed. I think Krishna personally removed so many jokers. Finally made all of them come together. Arjuna, now wipe them out together. You get the credit. Okay. So Prabhupada is saying, see, this is very important. If we do not understand things are the plan of the Lord, we think it is accidental. In our personal life and in the cosmic manifestation. What happened here? I lost my money. Why? By accident. Nothing accident. Plan of the Lord. Very difficult. Very difficult to understand. This plan may not be under the, that Krishna is personally stealing your thing. It may be through your papa karma, but it's always under some system. Pure devotees is personally Krishna is stealing. Correct? He steals butter or he is for the Madhavendra Puri. It doesn't happen accidentally. It was the plan of the Lord. How is that the one pot was not seen? People will say, maybe it rolled, it hid. For you, it's nothing is happening accidentally. Everything is the plan of the Lord. The devotee is therefore looking for an indication. My Lord, because devotee is only waiting for indication, what to do now. Just like Prabhupada, somebody told him, Swamiji, you are printing magazines now, but actually magazines are thrown away. Better you write books. Prabhupada felt, Krishna has told me something through this person. He's always waiting that Krishna will instruct me something through some way. Okay? Just become an instrument. Okay? So those who don't, they think nature is moving without a plan. Without a plan. Accidentally this world has been created, and then because the theory is wrong, they don't have clear answer. Maybe, perhaps, must have been, and they're trying to study matter. Hardly they themselves say, we don't understand. There is some dark matter, big antennas they're putting from some decades and trying to understand. Prabhupada said it's so complicated, you will be lost into the complexities. What is needed is already told in the Shastra. Don't waste your time like children. Just like they were, can you imagine somebody can speak like this? Srila Prabhupada is in America. Just like in India, we had a small, that was, a capsule went to moon. And then Whole India was thumping the chest. We did it, we did it, we did. I was in Bangalore that day. I went to Vidhan Sabha to meet some MLA, and not one person was there. All the MLAs were sitting in India's ISRO there, and the whole country was, newspaper, TV, thumping the chest. We did it, we did it, we did it. Just imagine what was happening in America. They claimed, we don't know what actually happened, they claimed that they people landed on moon. And whole country was thumping the chest, we did it, we did it, we did it. And they say now we lost the technology. That's the biggest joke on earth. They say, why don't you send now? We lost the technology. Hey Ram. I can't. People say, no, don't insult my intelligence like this. Even the space suit they have is a joke. They didn't have a technology even to have a space suit to cover that kind of a radiation in the space. It was like what we wear and, pilikola here, that kind of some small cloth. Scientifically, it's a joke what they proposed. But somehow they sell it, people are buying it. So whatever it is, wherever they went, but whole country was thumping the chest, we did it, we did it, we did it. Sri Sri Radha Govinda ki. Yeah. In fact, most of the Prabhupada disciples, the wave is so strong that even some American disciples got affected. They brought to Prabhupada, we did it. They're showing TV to Prabhupada. I mean, it was such a achievement, as if we have gone back to Godhead 10 times. That kind of an achievement. And Prabhupada, as I said always, Sri Sri Radha Govinda ki. Yes. Prabhupada was always very grave, he was silent. He didn't have anything. So then famous interview, he was in the airport. So everybody were asking, when you're thumping your chest, what do you have to say? Aap kya bola? Gajab kar diya. Swami bhi bola gajab kar diya. Prabhupada was a celebrity that time, having 100 temples and mushroomed all over America. Thousands of disciples, which are generally very visible. They're doing Sankirtan, all streets and airports, very, very visible. They used to tell Prabhupada, one day somebody asked Prabhupada, how many disciples? So Prabhupada said, what do you think? I think you are in millions. That kind of. It was in the parliament discussed that we have to stop this ISKCON movement, like cancer it is spreading. It was very visible. So then what happened? They asked the Prabhupada, what do you say when Prabhupada landed in an airport, the journalist? So Prabhupada said, you want me to flatter you or tell the truth? He was shocked. Couldn't believe. Somebody putting a slap on the face. Swamiji, tell the truth. Simply waste of time and money. Swamiji, no, we are curious to know what is in moon. Why you are saying it is waste? Prabhupada says, childish curiosity. Kissing invaluable time of human life is getting wasted in these silly things. That's what actually scientists are doing. You see any university, research, wasting time and money. Prabhupada says, what is there to research? What is needed is already given to you. There's nothing to research, waste of time. What do you want to research? It's given, ready, paka pakaya. And if you cannot understand, Prabhupada translate, given purport, paka pakaya. Read it, chant it, and go back to God. Don't have to get. Because they cannot do anything, they have not done anything. They say the word is advanced. Prabhupada says, what is advanced? Sun was rising in the east, it is still rising in the east. People are dying, they're still dying. People are becoming old, they're still becoming old. People are becoming diseased, still they're becoming diseased. What has advanced? It is same. This kind of a illusion is created. The world is advanced. Nothing else. There's nothing. They don't understand there is a plan of the Lord. And so therefore, better take shelter of the Acharya, take shelter. Don't be deluded. The world is advancing, but nothing is happening, no advancement. So there is a specific plan being carried out in the material world. Krishna has created material world. It has not come by an accident. There is a plan and design. And things are also moving in the total control of the Lord. So when you understand in this way, how much of life becomes very peaceful. Okay? So he should fight in accordance with it. So all we have to do is to understand what is the plan of the Lord. Even though we cannot see God, understand His plan. And how do you understand the plan? Through the Acharyas. And become an instrument in that. Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. O king, no one can know the plan of the Lord Sri Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are still bewildered. The bewilderment of Maharaja Yudhishthira over his past sinful acts and the resultant sufferings, etc., is completely negated by the great authority Bhishma, one of the 12 authorized persons. Bhishma wanted to impress upon Maharaja Yudhishthira that since time immemorial, no one, including such as demigods as Shiva and Brahma, could ascertain the real plan of the Lord, and so what can we understand about it? It is useless also to inquire about it. Even the exhaustive philosophical inquiries of sages cannot ascertain the plan of the Lord. The best policy is to simply abide by the orders of the Lord without argument. The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue. Bhishma Dev was certainly satisfied by seeing the triumph of virtue, and he was glad to see King Yudhishthira on the throne, although he himself fought against him. Even a great fighter like Bhishma could not win the battle of Kurukshetra because the Lord wanted to show that the wise cannot conquer virtue regardless of who tries to execute it. Bhishma Dev was a great devotee of the Lord, but he chose to fight against the Pandavas by the will of the Lord because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma cannot win on the wrong side. Srimadbhagavatam.
Yeah, continue.
O best among descendants of Bharata, Yudhishthira, I maintain therefore that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. The popular saying is that a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotee. The devotee does not have to learn anything new from the Lord because the Lord teaches the sincere devotee always from within. Whenever, therefore, a show is made to teach the devotee, as in the case of teachings of Bhagavad Gita, it is for teaching the less intelligent men. A devotee's duty, therefore, is to ungrudgingly accept tribulations from the Lord as a benediction. The Pandavas were advised by Bhishma Deva to accept the responsibility of administration without hesitation. The poor subjects were without protection due to the battle of Kurukshetra, and they were awaiting the assumption of power by Maharaja Yudhishthira. A pure devotee of the Lord accepts tribulations as favors from the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no mundane difference between the two.
Amazing. The Lord is absolute, there is no mundane difference between the two. Okay? So very nice example that happens in the house. If you have a daughter and daughter-in-law, the mother will scold the daughter, but instruction is for the daughter-in-law. उसको बोल नहीं सकते, वो तो गुस्सा कर दे। तेरे को समझ नहीं आता है, टाइम पे उठना होता है, उसको खाली ड्रामा, instruction उधर के लिए. So Krishna also is actually putting devotees under tribulation, and devotees are not disturbed, they are in ecstasy. To even think that Pandavas suffered is an offense. They never suffered. How can a pure devotee suffer? They are in ecstasy. Like Prahlad Maharaj never suffered. He's in ecstasy. But externally it looks like they are into some kind of difficulty. No, they are not in some difficulty. Okay? So accepts the responsibility administration without taking. Always from within. So just like Arjuna was taught Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is not in ignorance. That is the drama created by Krishna. Through Arjuna is teaching us. Okay, na? So we can understand this. Teaching of Bhagavad Gita, teaching the less intelligent. Show is made to teach the devotee. Show is made to teach. Only Prabhupada explained the Gita like that. Drama is done to teach Arjuna. Actually, Arjuna already knows everything. He is in a Yoga Maya, he is put under, not Mahamaya. But we are big. Jyoti, just wait, let us understand. Yeah.
This world is compared to a forest fire caused by the friction of bamboo bushes. Such a forest fire takes place automatically, for bamboo friction occurs without external cause. Similarly, in the material world, the wrath of those who want to lord it over material nature interacts, and the fire of war takes place, exhausting the unwanted population. Such fires or wars take place in human society by the dealings among the population, and the Lord has nothing to do with them. But because he wants to maintain the creation, he desires the mass of people to follow the right path of self-realization, which enables the living beings to enter into the kingdom of God. The Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to him, and cease to suffer the threefold material pangs. The whole plan of creation is made in that way, and one who does not come to his senses and go back to Godhead suffers in this material world the pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord therefore wants his bona fide representative to rule the world. Lord Sri Krishna descended to establish this sort of regime and to kill the unwanted persons who have nothing to do with this plan. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of the Lord so that undesirable persons could get out of the Lord of the world and a peaceful kingdom under his devotee could be established. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhishthira was on the throne and the seedling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaja Parikshit was saved.
110.2. Nobody can, yaar rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. So finally, plan of the Lord cannot be stopped, it will execute. So see, people, very difficult. One crazy person is there, he wants to kill somebody. He is very angry. And Krishna will take him to such a place where somebody has to be killed now. It's very difficult, the karma, the laws of the Lord, very difficult. So Prabhupada is saying, bamboo friction occurs. The metal word, wrath of those who want to lord it over, the fire of war take place. And these unwanted people are consumed. Okay?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the control of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has gracefully overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. Maharaja Parikshit, although born in a family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachment for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he had to be detached by a plan of the Lord. Such direct action is taken by the Lord in the case of a special devotee whom the Lord wants to accomplish a particular mission. Maharaja Parikshit could understand this by the presence of the topmost transcendentalist in the universe. The Lord resides with his devotees, and therefore the presence of the great saints indicated the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of the great rishis as a mark of favor of the Supreme Lord.
See that? Wait, 1914. Now this is the most difficult position. He was an emperor, lost everything. He's sitting, but he's looking at the positive part. Surrounded by the great saints of the universe. Kapila Muni is sitting there. You know, the Bhagavatam has a list, all the sages of the universe, which we hear in the Shastra, all are sitting around him. And Shukdev Goswami lands up. Says, and he's introspective. You know, even though I know everything, grandson of the Pandavas, everything, looks like I got too attached to family life. And by force, Krishna cut me out of that situation and set me in this situation, all great saints. You know, just imagine. So nice. What the plan of the Lord. He could understand. We may not understand, but at least he could understand.
In Bhagavad Gita 4.8 also, it is said that the Lord appears just to give protection to the devotees and to annihilate the non-devotees. The non-devotees are found in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Therefore, when the Lord wants to fight, he has to come to this world. But who will fight with the Supreme Lord? No one is able to fight with him. Therefore, because the Lord's pastimes in the material world are always performed with his devotees, not with others, he has to find some devotee who will play the part of an enemy. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says to Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, both you and I have appeared many, many times in this material world, but you have forgotten, whereas I remember." Thus, Jaya and Vijaya were selected by the Lord to fight with him in the material world, and that was the reason the sages came to see him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. It was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not perpetually, but for some time. Therefore, just as on a theatrical stage, someone takes the part of an enemy to the proprietor of the stage, although the play is for a short time and there is no permanent enmity between the servant and the proprietor. So, the Sura Jana's devotees were cursed by the sages to go to the Asura Jana or atheistic families. That a devotee should come into an atheistic family is surprising, but it is simply a show. After finishing their mock fighting, both the devotee and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual planets. That is very explicitly explained here. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. But sometimes, as the Lord desires, devotees come into this material world as preachers or as atheists. In each case, we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. Lord Buddha, for example, was an incarnation, yet he preached atheism. There is no God. But actually, there was a plan behind this, as explained in the Bhagavatam 3:16-26.
Very nice. Okay? So there is a plan. Why Buddha taught this? That was the plan of the Lord. Okay, and similarly, why Jaya Vijaya came to the world? That was the plan. Lord wanted to have some mock fighting, just like in a drama. For some time, people act in some way, but actually, they are different. Yes.
When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculations. For example, sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed, or sometimes he is put into difficulty, just as Aridhasa Thakura was. He was a great devotee who came into this material world to execute the will of the Lord by preaching the Lord's glories. But Haridasa was punished at the hands of the Kazi by being beaten in 22 places. Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified and Prahlada Maharaj was put through so many tribulations. The Pandavas, who were direct friends of Krishna, lost their kingdom, their wife was insulted, and they had to undergo many severe tribulations. Seeing all these reverses affect devotees, one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by such reverses. He accepts even reverse conditions as the grace of the Lord. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse conditions is assured that he will go back to Godhead, back to Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. Srimadbhagavatam 3:16-37.
So Prabhupada is saying again, one should not be disturbed by it. It's not easy. Okay, sometimes difficulties come. Even Haridas Thakur was put into difficulty. Prabhupada says, it's not that you're a devotee, there will be no apparent external suffering. So many people had. Haridas Thakur was cane, and Prahlad Maharaj was so many harassment. Okay? Jesus Christ was crucified. Okay? Pandavas, they lost their kingdom, the wife was insulted. Correct? We should not be disturbed by seeing this. Oh, Baba, becoming a devotee is very dangerous. So ये सब बहुत खतरनाक चीज होता है. ठीक है? There must be some plan. We may not know the plan, but there is some plan of the Lord. Devotee should never disturb by such reverses. He accepts a reverse condition as the grace of the Lord. And then Prabhupada is quoting the shloka. Even in these reverses, when he continues the service of Supreme Lord, he goes back to Godhead. So Brahma is saying, don't be so disturbed, because when the Jaya, this one, Hiranaksha, Hiranyakashipu in the womb of Diti, the whole universe became dark. So they ran, kya hone wala, kya hone wala? Don't worry, some plan है, भगवान आ रहे हैं इनसे खेलने के लिए, वही मारेंगे इनको, तुम टेंशन नहीं लो.
Unless, however, one comes to this point of understanding Atma Tattva, one remains in the darkness in which he was born. Under the circumstances, no one can understand the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is equipped with varieties of energies as stated in the Vedic literature, Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shruyate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 13.65 purport. He is equipped with the energy of eternal time. Not only does he have the material energy which we see and experience, but he also has many reserve energies that he can manifest in due course of time when necessary. The material scientist can simply study the partial understanding of the varieties of energies. He can take up one of the energies and try to understand it with limited knowledge, but still it is not possible to understand the absolute truth in full by dint of material science. No material scientist can foretell what is going to happen in the future. The Bhakti Yoga process, however, is completely different from so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. A devotee completely surrenders unto the Supreme Lord, who reveals himself by his causeless mercy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. The Lord says, I give him intelligence. What is that intelligence? Ye namam upayantite. The Lord gives one the intelligence to cross over the ocean of nations and come back home, back to Godhead. In conclusion, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth or supreme Brahman, cannot be understood by philosophical speculation, but he reveals himself to his devotee because the devotee fully surrenders unto his lotus feet. Bhagavad Gita is therefore to be accepted as a revealed scripture spoken by the absolute truth himself when he descended to this planet. If any intelligent man wants to know what God is, he should study this transcendental literature under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Then it is very easy to understand Krishna as he is.
Yes, Mataji, this is some mistake. Okay? Thank you for reading all so much thing. Okay, so plan of the Lord, you got some insight. There is a deep plan of the Lord. Hare Krishna. And if you understand there is plan of the Lord, you will be very, very peaceful. Yes. So many examples they have. Yes, Radhika Mataji, I'll just unmute everybody. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I just thought of this example when Narada Muni was a maid servant's son. He was just 5 years old. He was very small, and Krishna took away his mother so that he can engage himself in full-time devotional service to the Lord. But he did not know any other external world apart from his mother's affection. Still, he considered that as Lord's mercy.
Yes. Very, very spiritually very advanced. Otherwise, a normal child will simply sit and cry, correct? And curse God. Yes, Sri Devi?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have one question, Prabhuji. How do we align with God's plan? Like if we have choices to make, how do we select the one that is aligned with God's plan?
Pampama susukshmanaha bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Always seeking the mercy of Krishna. Krishna, please be merciful to me. Krishna, please be merciful to me. And even though you are constantly praying to Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, even some very reverse happens. Thank you, Krishna. It's something you want to teach me. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, such a big reverse has happened. The whole kingdom is taken away. He's sitting in a simple dress outside. Just in a moment. Just imagine in a moment.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Are we ready? Whole life we build something, we build a house, we build a car, and a moment you're sitting outside your house with a katora. One moment it changed. And he says, yes, Krishna, looks like I was getting too attached to my family. And you made a very nice. The same thing Prahlad Maharaj says to Bali Maharaj. When he was standing outside his palace, he's tied by the ropes, and Vamandev was insulting him again. Hey, you are a cheat. Cheat, eh? Where is the place for third step? And just imagine, lost his army, is being insulted, lost his wealth. And Prahlad Maharaj says, my dear Lord, you are gracious on both the situations. You are gracious to him when you gave him the whole kingdom of the world. You are also gracious to him when you took everything away. Both he saw the mercy of the Lord. So what you should see now, application of this. Now you go on the road and you see a big accident happens. So what you will say? Fantastic grace of the Lord. You will say like that, or what you will do? Yes, Jyoti Makkar, what you will do in that situation? You will say fantastic.
I think we can try to help the person out, even if he is collapsed. We can try to inform the police so that his near and dear ones are informed. Somehow we can try to help if it is in our hands. But if we are not carrying a phone or anything, then we can't do anything.
But everything is plan of the Lord, no? Wonderful, my Lord, wonderful. He has died.
No, we cannot say that. We cannot say that. The situation is such. The situation is such. Then others will think she's a mad person. The person has collapsed and she's saying wonderful plan of the Lord.
Wonderful, wonderful, my Lord, wonderful. Bhagavad Gita also same thing Krishna says, Ashocha nanavashocha sampragna vadam bhashate gatasuna jananu shochanti pandita. Correct?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, but though Ashocha and Anvashocha, Krishna told, he asked Arjuna to act. So we have to act when we see an accident on the road, but action with the right attitude and consciousness. We understand that the person might have had
that you are there.
A bad karma or anything, But
Correct.
still, Krishna is asking Arjuna to act. The consciousness with which we act is most important.
Yeah, internally in the heart, devotee is not disturbed, whatever happens. But externally, that's also the plan. You are there in the situation, you should act. Correct? No? Not that I will not act. He died, wonderful.
If the person can be saved is injured, we can take the person to the hospital.
Just reverse now. See, we are so lazy. When somebody in front of us, big accident happens, people are lying on the road. Wonderful, my Lord, wonderful, my Lord, wonderful. And we'll walk away. Just imagine the reverse. You were in the accident, you are lying on the road, it's paining bitterly, blood is flowing, somebody should take you to hospital, and people all around you say, wonderful, my Lord. Then you will feel, wow, something is wrong with this. When you have to get out a responsibility, you'll use the philosophy, wonderful, my Lord, wonderful. But when you are in the situation, you'll understand, what wonderful, do something. No, wonderful, wonderful, my Lord is wonderful. Yes. Very good.
Prabhuji, I have one question. When tribulations enter our life, we should enchant the name of Lord more and more. So that's what I've read in many books. Like even Kunti Maharani, she prayed to Lord Krishna to give her only suffering so that Lord doesn't depart from her memory. But my question is that when the difficulties enter our life, majority of the people, mostly I don't remember taking the name of Lord that time. The difficulties are running in my head. So that thing is wrong. I want to change that thing in me. That time Lord does not, I have a prayer time, usually whole day I'm in the thoughts of the Lord. Whatever work I do it as service to the Lord. But
changes you have to become Sukriti. See, Bhagavad Gita, it is very clear. Sukriti, Chaturveda bhajante mam, janana sukrito arjuna. So you have to become Sukriti. If you are Sukriti, you will bhajante mam will happen. And artho, artha, arja, jigyasu, jnani, this four kind of situation, Sukriti will pray to the Lord. Correct? So we have to become Sukriti. Dushkriti will curse the God. What? I did so good and are you doing this to me? Yesterday we were analyzing this. Okay? I did so much for you. That punya, maximum Dushkriti will go to the Jaimini philosophy. I did so much good work.
I don't curse Lord. I remember in my dental college, people used to call me mad because of this. Because when I used to fail, I used to say, इसमें भी कोई भला होगा. It must be a blessing in the form of disguise. उनको लगता था पागल है, fail हो गई और कह रही है इसमें कोई भला होगा.
But what you want is that, see what happens, no? We need realizations. When the realizations will come, that Krishna is in control. Like it, Bhagavatam has the thing. When Vasudeva told Nanda Maharaj, please rush, have you paid your taxes to Kamsa? He said, yes. Immediately rush. I foresee some difficulty in Vrindavan. So Nanda Maharaj was running to Vrindavan, from Mathura. So at that time, Bhagavatam says that he was intensely meditating into the Lord, because that's what the nature of the devotee. Whenever he is in difficulty, intensely meditates on the lotus feet of the Lord. Where else? What else? That is the only shelter. Correct? Okay? So that will happen when we have realization. So true, that is not happening, but it doesn't happen just by a sentiment. Okay? You appreciate this point, Anna? Just like there was one devotee, he says that when Srila Prabhupada arrived in America, devotees were crying. Everybody was crying. So I looked at everybody. They're crying out of so much love. And I was sitting there, I have no tears in my eyes. I was thinking, I have no realizations. Correct? The joy, the happiness, the ecstasy, the tears of Krishna consciousness will come when there is realizations. So similarly, when we are in difficulty, intense prayers come or not come, depends on our realizations. If the realizations are there, we will intensely pray, my Lord, give me protection. Okay, I am at your shelter. Okay? Yes, Mataji, that solves the problem.
One question. Is it not the Lord who makes you contemplate on his name? I read it somewhere.
No.
He makes you recite his name. He gives you that mindset. Without his will, you can't even recite his name.
No, then तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. देखो, अभी मैं कल किसी के पास गया था. So I asked him, why don't you come to temple? He said, जब भगवान बुलाएंगे आ जाएंगे. मैंने कहा ये बता, मूवी देखने जाता है? हाँ सर, हर हफ्ते जाता हूँ. तो सिनेमा हॉल वाला तेरे घर आता है क्या बुलाने के लिए? दारू पीता? हाँ सर, वो भी पीता. तो दारू के अड्डे वाला तेरे घर आता है क्या बुलाने के लिए? नहीं। उधर हम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते। और मंदिर जाना है, भगवान का नाम लेना, भगवान कराएंगे वो सब तो। अरे तो मूवी हॉल तो खुद गया था, उधर तो मूवी हॉल वाले घर आते हैं क्या? हम कितने लोगों को बुला रहे हैं? अरे सेम हर दिन यही जो हम बुला रहे, मंदिर आ जाओ, जब उसकी इच्छा होगी आऊँगा। अच्छा, तो सिनेमा हॉल वाला तेरे घर आता है क्या लेने के लिए? हैं? गाड़ी भेजता है क्या? उधर तो सब कुछ है। और बाकी जगह बड़े नखरे, सर बहुत इंटीरियर है सर, रिक्शा मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, उधर तो ढूंढ ढूंढ के चले जाते हैं। नहीं। So we should see, we have to do our part. Krishna makes the facility. Just like today, there was 8 o'clock, you decided you will listen to the class, no? Okay? So Krishna will give you the facility and you use the facility well. You had the mobile, and the same mobile you could have watched a movie also now, है ना? But you chose. You had a responsibility. We chose. Okay? True. Now to see the class also, the mobile Krishna has only given. Your capacity to hear the class also Krishna has given. So it becomes, there is somewhere of freedom, free will, which we should accept the responsibility. ठीक है ना? What do you say, Mataji? Fine?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare
I
Krishna.
agree. Without his power, you cannot do anything. I agree. But there is somewhere our choice is there. You chose. So life is nothing but set of choices. Correct? And your whole life, you look at it, it's nothing but set of choices that you made. Okay? God gave us the facility. Just like there is a nice field, agriculture field, you can grow vegetables and grain and eat and live as a gentleman. You can also grow some narcotics and cannabis there and destroy your life and destroy others' life. Correct? You can do that. You cannot blame God. I mean, उसी ने करवाए। अरे उसने तो बारिश दिया, उसने जमीन दिया, करने वाला तो तू है ना? Just like Prabhupada gives example, government gives good facilities, but some people take advantage of the facilities, become a doctor, become an engineer, become a chartered accountant. People take the facilities and become a respectable person in society, and they can contribute. But somebody will do some upadram and land inside jail. Now, he cannot blame the government for it. Government has schools, he has everything, full facilities are created. We are using or misusing the facilities. Correct, nahi? At least I am able to tell you, I can't tell those people. Swamiji, so when you come, so many months are over, temple is opened, you have not come. नहीं, अभी तो इधर क्लास में भी बहुत लोग बैठे हैं ऐसे, जब भगवान बुलाएंगे आएंगे। हरे कृष्णा। सो Kartik month is going on, you are all welcome. ठीक है? I know many of you have thought if I can take you all for some yatra or something, but we have a big responsibility now to make the temple run. Temple is just opened, make all services. ठीक है? Okay, so we start the Kartik Aarti. Who wants to sing today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I for today?
चलो ठीक है, मिल दो। नामो Oh wow, sorry, we don't want song. We wanted the lyrics. Yeah.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोधाभियो लोकलाघवमानं परामृष्टाम् अत्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रा युग्मान् वृजन्तं कराम्भोजायुग्मेन सतन्कानेत्रम् मुहुर्श्वाशाकं पात्रीरेखान्तकण्ठा स्थिता ग्रीवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इदृक्स्वा लीलाभिः आनन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जान्तं मध्यपयान्तम् तदीशे जिज्ञेषु भक्ते जितर्त्वं पुनः प्रेमस्तस्तं सतवृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवामोक्षं न मोक्षं वदीहं न चन्यं वृणेयाहं वर्षदपि वा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मानसि अवस्थं किम् अन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलै वृतं कुण्ठले कृष्ण रक्षश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्ब रक्तं धरमे मनसि अविरस्तं मलं लक्ष्यलभ्ये नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसिद्ध प्रभु दुःख जलाब्धिमग्नं कृपा दृष्टि वृष्यन्ति दीनं बतानु ग्रहणे क्षमामाग्नम् इद्र्यक्षिदृश्या कुबेरात्मजो भद्रामृतैव यद्वात् त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेमा भक्तिं स्वां कं मे प्रयच्छ नमो क्षेद्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायत्य विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय द्वदीय प्रियाये नमो नतलीलाय देवयतेभ्यं नमो राधिकाय द्वदीय प्रियाये नमो नतलीलाय देवयतेभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा
राधा गोविंद की
जय
Hi.
की
Jai.
हरे
Hare